Welcome back to Real Life Recaps. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hello, all sorry, it's a long one. It's been a little while. RIP my inbox. I read so many comments and messages. Many or most of them were helpful. Most horrendous days of my life. Let me try to explain a bit more clearly what happened and what's happening. I won't give exact details to preserve anonymity. I was away from my husband, 38, male, and 3 kids for almost 6 months. This was because I had to go with my sister to help our mum. She had a severe stroke and was not expected to make it. My sister was in pieces. She still spoke with Mum, even though I didn't. Husband encouraged me to stay, and he helped pay for the ticket. Originally, I was only supposed to stay there to pretty much help bury her and then come back after a few weeks. However, she surprised us all by staying alive and recovering somewhat. Anyway, there were still complications with her recovery physically, mentally, financially, and I could not leave. I did not want to go in the first place, I did not want to stay, and I sure as shit didn't want to deal with her. I had not spoken or seen my mother in about 17 years because of her addiction issues. I never thought I'd ever see her again, and I had massive emotional trauma to deal with. But you know what? I'm glad I went. I faced my demons and showed compassion I did not know I was capable of. Whilst I shall never be buddy-buddy with Mum, it has done good for my psychological, mental health. And I realize now, my mental health has been shit for years, even before the kids were born. My husband tried to help, but I was stuck fast, wallowing in a depressed funk. I blamed my mum for my poor mental health and let myself go, physically and mentally. For years, I'd been sinking further and further down, and yes, it affected my relationships, particularly with my husband. My husband is a hard-working, insightful, generous man. He has always supported me, never laid a finger on me, and I feel safe around him. He is and always has been an excellent father. He has his faults, don't we all? But I love him and I know he loves me. When I came back from my journey of rediscovery, my husband was expecting the old me, the depressed, miserable, bitchy, moany, not sexy, pessimistic me. I admit it to myself, and it's a hard pill to swallow. I think back at how I treated myself and my husband, the awful negative thoughts I had, and I am ashamed. Needless to say, in all these years, our physical sex life was in the pits. Our marriage was crap. I admit it, and I've cried all the tears I've had crammed up these past 17 years since I locked my hurt and pain away with my mother's abandonment and abuse. I lost weight on my trip, almost 15 kilos. I'm off my antidepressants and eating healthy without even trying. In the past few months, I've actually been interested in the day and what it brings. I'm present for my children, and I feel like I'm in control. However, when I came back, I had to not exactly grovel, but a big apology explanation was owed, and it was hard to get the words out, but I said them and I meant them. I was unpacking drawers and I found condoms. I have an IUD and we haven't used rubbers in years and years. The expiry date on these condoms was 2027, so not a chance they were old. I am a bit ashamed to say I did discreetly search his email and messages and found the receipt for them in Amazon. He did buy them about 1 month ago. Only one is missing, and I noticed the toys had been moved, so I am certain that he used it on himself. I did search for other suspicious items, etc., but there were none. I did check messages, and there is nothing suspicious. Nothing at all. My husband hasn't been behaving suspiciously, and I think when I confronted him with the condoms, I found he just blurted out a BS excuse, and because of the distance between us, he wouldn't admit using them on himself. Yet. I also had a look at our finances, and I am ashamed to see how hard my husband has been working to keep a roof over our heads. Nothing suspicious is going on, and we are lucky to have him so committed. I have sadly heard in other comments about how some people just dump the partner with kids when it gets too tough. The fear I felt in that moment, that yes, he was cheating, was overwhelmingly real. I can see how my refusal to get help, not be physical, and always a many cow could push him away. I don't see him starting another relationship, but I could see him maybe using a service. Maybe? I don't know. So will I throw away 15 plus good years, mostly, away for this? No. I am going to do the best I can because these past years have been pretty fucking awful and he has been working so damn hard and I have just been consumed with self-loathing. I know I can't take the blame for absolutely everything that's gone wrong. However, I'm starting with what I can. I have for the first time in a long time felt actually excited about what I can do with the future. But I will definitely 100% be getting a job to make myself self-sufficient. Cheating divorce isn't the only way a partner can leave you, and this whole event has shown me a warning shot that I need to get a grip and find a job. I have also started some online courses to brush up on skills I haven't used in years. I've updated my cover letter again, using AI software, what a trip, and I in fact already have an interview set up 2 weeks from now. And I will also discreetly consult a lawyer citizens advice bureau to find out the what if we get divorced, because knowledge definitely is power. And I must explain that I didn't cry my eyes out and terrify the children like some comments suggested. There is no trauma, they're fine, and I've gotten a hold of myself. I cried once or twice coming out of the bathroom and then went for a long ass walk to cry and try to get hold of myself. So, one condom missing from a box seems to be the catalyst for my life. Made me look at what is actually of value. Whatever happens, I know I'll be fine. I realize now how difficult things have been for my husband and how I wasn't helping at all. The shame still makes me cry, and I am hoping that's a good thing, actually, because a year ago I wouldn't have given a shit. Just would have done some more self-destructive behavior, probably. Thank you all for your comments. Really, I really mean it. A lot of them helped me shake some sense into me and allow for self-reflection. It is early days yet, but I am hopeful. My husband was smiling at me across the room the other day after I had done something for him, and it's the first time in ages I saw that. He said something flirty, and I felt butterflies. Not disgust and contempt like a year or two ago. Anyway, I have rambled a lot, and I'm not going to edit this. Maybe I'll update again, maybe I won't. But yes, again, thanks so much for your help. Married 15 1Rs have had an okay marriage. Went a bit pear-shaped after having 3 kids in 4 years, 9F, 7F, 5M. I found a box of condoms in the drawer after I'd been away for a while. He denies they're his, just said he accidentally found them in a box in the garage somehow. It's a pack of 30 and 1 is missing. I am freaking out, crying my head off. My marriage is over, I think. What should I do next? How do I get a lawyer? I can't afford one. I'm a stay-at-home, part-time working mom with no savings. I don't see us getting through this. He's checked out. I can feel it. Oh, God, the pain, the pain, the pain. I have never felt this pain. People driving by acting normal with their lives, and I am dying agony inside. I want to check his emails, messages, but is that a bad idea? Sorry for the messy grammar. I can't see through the tears. Kids keep asking me why I'm crying. TLDR, found condoms in the drawer. We haven't used condoms in years. I suspect cheating. What do I do next? Location UK. I live in a state that has been reaching 100 degrees every day. I don't have a house with vents, so it gets very hot. I have close to a $400 Arctic King I thought would do us good. So we started to install it, and the heat made every person cranky, my boyfriend included. I'm a very quiet person. So when I sensed he was getting irritated, I was patient with him. My little job in helping was to tear off the pieces of duct tape and hand them to him, and watch the baby who he told me should be fine because she was on the ground with her toys. So I was also hot because I drove my car with no AC just an hour prior. I listened to him and was just handing him the tape. Within a span of literally maybe a minute and some change, she made her way over to his gaming setup and pulled his controller headset off the table. Nothing hit her, but he said to me rudely, "That is why you're supposed to watch her. Because if that would have hit her, I would have been pissed." And all I passively said to him was, "I'm sorry, I didn't know she was right there, and I didn't know she'd get there that fast." He said that because of that, she has to come up on the bed where we were at, basically. I didn't say anything, but my face was trying to process how I was going to be able to tear tape, give it to him, and watch her or keep her from falling off the bed. So in my mind, I had her close to me. She didn't like that I wasn't letting her trying and fall off the bed. I understand babies are squirmy, and that's A-okay. So because she was put in one spot, she would grip my skin, pinch, and then scratch downwards, which I didn't say anything to her for doing that, but I would make the typical Tess sound. Because baby nails are razor sharp when not cut in a timely manner, he stared at me with an ugly look on his face and said, "She's a baby, she's gonna scratch you, get used to it." And I said that she was pinching and scratching me because I wouldn't let her off the bed, and that it just stings because my sweat and the scratches don't mix well. I left it alone and carried on with handing him tape while he mumbled stuff under his breath. He would often jumble the tape and end up not being able to use it, so he'd throw it down on the bed. The baby would see that, and she'd try to grab the tape. I was able to grab it from her before she'd put it in her mouth. But she got fascinated with me tearing the tape off. She crawled to me and first tried to grab the roll of tape from my hand, and then the little bit I had on my opposite hand. When she did this, he was not watching, and so I calmly and quietly said, "No, just no." He immediately stopped everything he was doing, pulled her away from me, and picked her up. And he said, "You're not going to talk to my daughter that way. If she's such a burden for you to watch, you can get your things out of my room." I went into defense mode and said, "I just said no because she was trying to eat the tape." I spoke to her calmly, and she didn't even stop. That's how passive I was with her. He told me that since I didn't validate his feelings as a father, and that because I was much more busy defending myself, that meant he was right about me having a tone or attitude towards her. Why would I admit to something I'm not guilty of? I'm currently in my first trimester with my first baby, and I'm sick and very tired all the time. He told me to get my shit out of his room. I pay rent and utilities while he buys whatever he wants, and that we were done. So I did. That included a 65-inch TV, a nightstand, and my king-size memory foam mattress that felt like it weighed more than me. I'm sure I'm exaggerating, but I am 4'11" And then an air-conditioned window unit. I told him if I move this stuff that there is no coming back from it, and that he better remember that this was his doing. He has no problems with that. We argued while I moved my stuff, and then I went to my mom's house for a bit because emotionally I was not doing too great. When I came back home, I went to my room, and he would find little excuses to come in and say something until he asked me to help set up a baby pen. I said sure, because I had nothing else to do. When I went in, we fiddled with for a little while, and then he started talking about what happened. "Why did you get so upset when I told you that you had an attitude with my daughter?" To which I replied, "Because I didn't, and you made me feel like I won't be able to be a crucial role in my stepdaughter's life. If you get so irate over a calm no at her, I can't be with someone who's going to yell at me every time I'm supposed to watch over a baby, but not be able to verbally stop her from things that can hurt her." He did apologize for yelling at me, and that he's just a dad, and when I have my baby that I'll understand, and I looked him deadpan in the eyes, said, "I would never do that. That is over the top. And if I want someone to watch my baby, I'm accepting that they'll be told, no, stop, or don't do that. That's only natural." He brushed what I said off, and then asked me if I'd be moving my things back into the room with him, and I said no, that I told him there wouldn't be any going back on his words and doing. He told me he didn't need my help any longer and that I could leave his room. Did I do this right? He made me feel so insane for just trying to stop her from putting tape in her mouth. I didn't want her to choke or get the adhesive in her mouth, and it felt like I did the wrong thing in trying to protect her while I watched her and multitasked. I'm really needing advice. I feel so lost and hurt right now. Edit. I really did not expect this post to blow up the way it did. I want to clarify, some people think my post is fake. I wish it were. I'd like to address that. I used to be married to a different man and divorced him last year for abuse. I had a pressured abortion from my ex and was on birth control since. My birth control failed even though I never missed a day on it. This is only my second relationship, and while I may seem stupid, I'm doing my best for someone who's relatively new to relationships outside of my failed marriage. About a pregnant 4 foot 11 inches woman moving a king-sized mattress, I work at Amazon, turning a bed on its side and pushing it is doable for me. But did I enjoy it while I'm throwing up and am tired? Absolutely not.